Hare Krishna, and welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. Today, we're not going to speak on Bhagavad Gita, rather, we will be discussing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we'll also be more specifically, we'll be discussing his instructions. How to relish instructions is that going to be is going to be the topic for today. So very interesting instructions and very interesting discussion to follow up of after that. Let me just share my screen and get. So the way we have designed this session is that it's a longish, going to be a long session. There are 8 verses, and these 8 verses can take a lot of time because these are very deep verses, beautiful meaning. Our senior devotees, our acharyas have given us a lot of information about these 8 verses, and we can churn these verses and learn more and more. So we are going to do that. So it will be difficult for us to remember everything and then ask questions at the end. So what we intend to do is basically, uh, after every verse we will have a brief question answer session. So all 56 of you are requested to sit down with a pen or pen, paper, or pencil or paper, or use your laptop, mobiles to type out all your questions. Send your questions in the chat box as you get those, and we can discuss them. Ashwin Prabhuji can help me keep track of these questions as they appear in the chat box so that we don't miss out on those, and we can discuss. So you can also unmute and ask questions after every verse. Each verse is very deep, very beautiful, and lot of learning we can pick up from each of these verses. So keep relating what we are discussing with your own life, with your own situation, and in that process you might, wherever you find gap, that can be a question that you can pose, and we can discuss collectively how best we can overcome a situation or a gap, potential gap that might exist. So with this, let's jump right into the today's topic, relishing Sri Shikshashtakam. So we intend, there are 8 verses. What you can see here is part one. The reason we are doing it like this is basically to allow us to have a well-rounded discussion after each verse. We intend to cover 4 verses in today's session and 4 verses in the subsequent session. So take your time. I don't want to rush through these verses. And at the same time, I want all of you to give enough time to think through and come up with more questions. The recorded session, we can go through these answers, some of these answers again if you're not clear, or we can have side conversations wherein you can send me messages, and we can have the discussions basis that as well. Why we are discussing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly is because on Gaur Purnima day he appeared. It's so in ISKCON we celebrate, Gaudiya Vaishnavas celebrate appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the same glorious way, or rather more gloriously, as we celebrate Krishna Janmashtami. So he's Krishna himself appearing in the form of a devotee. We'll see that. We'll get more details about that aspect more a little bit in a while. So, just like Krishna Janmashtami is just like Krishna Janmashtami is celebrated across the country, appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also similarly celebrated everywhere. Amongst all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they celebrate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in the same way. So, um, and Mahaprabhu gave instructions. So 8 instructions he gave. He didn't wrote books. He didn't spoke Bhagavad Gita, but these instructions, 8 instructions that he gave, that's what we are going to study. And as part one and part two. And many of you might be aware of these instructions. Many of you might be must have memorized these instructions, and must be hopefully daily chanting these instructions as part of our sadhana. We should do that, and that's a good reminder to us about how to become devotee and how to remain to be a devotee. So all of you are very fortunate today who have chosen to join this session in the midst of all crises. They will happen, they will go on happening, but nothing should really affect our focus on Krishna consciousness. And that's the reason why it's important that we become more intense, seeing the uncertainty around us. We become more intense in our sadhana, in our study of Bhagavad Gita, in our study of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, and our practice, that is sadhana. So with this background, let's proceed further in understanding what this is all about. So relishing the instructions of of uh, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's all about relishment. Now, what do you mean by relishment? Relishing means feeling very strong connections or presence with Krishna, forgetting ourselves. When we like something, we forget ourselves. We you may hear a song, a classical song, or a musical instrument being played, and when you understand it, when you relish it, when you appreciate it, you forget yourself, you forget your existence, you forget where you are sitting, you just close your eyes, and the whole you just absorb deeply into the listening of that song, the listening of that musical melody that's being played, and you relish it. That's when we say that we are relishing something. Similarly, it could be relishing uh, a vyanjan, something that is cooked very nicely. It looks beautiful. It looks as it should look. It is crispy as it should be, soft as it should be, hard as it should be, and taste perfect. The color is perfect. The appearance is perfect. The crispiness is perfect. The and the taste is perfect. And when you consume it, you relish it. You relish it to the fullest. So this is relishment. In Krishna consciousness, when we relish Krishna consciousness, we feel the presence of Krishna more and more. We actually appreciate Krishna more. We feel a very strong connection with Krishna more in a particular activity. In many activities we do in Krishna consciousness, but some of these activities are very close to our heart. We find ourselves getting absorbed in doing those activities more than others. It's not that others are less important, but these are the ones which we relish the most. Go to chat box, and based on your experience, type in the chat box what is it that you relish more. This is, again, this will be individual. What I like might be different than what you may like. And Krishna Lila, his kind face with merciful eyes. Somebody Mataji is saying, very nice. Kirtan, Dham Yatra, Devotee Association. So, Hare Krishna. Yeah, Kirtan for many. Is my voice okay? I think Shashank Prabhuji mentioned that voice is coming low. Maybe I was speaking little slowly to start with, but I hope it.
It's okay. Now it is okay. I rejoined the meeting. Now it
Okay,
is okay.
perfect. So Vinod Prabhuji is saying Dham Yatra. Yes, Prabhuji, we want to see you more in Dham. Yes, all of you would have had some experience of, for some it could be philosophy, for some it could be chanting of verses, where they feel very deep connection with Krishna. For some it could be taking darshan of the deities, standing in front of deities, observing deities, looking into their eyes, seeing their decoration, seeing the whether they are wearing a helmet, whether they are wearing a turban, and how it is decorated, which color combination they are wearing, and so on and so forth. There could be it could be a lot to take from Krishna consciousness. So lot of answers. Hope everyone is thinking and keep typing something or the other. But all of you should like, because that's why we are here in Krishna consciousness. If we were not to like Krishna or Krishna consciousness activities, then it could have been difficult for us to be in Krishna consciousness for a long time. But all of you are connected with Krishna consciousness for fairly long time. So I'm sure, yeah, something or the other appeals to you. You relish something or the other. So a lot of nice answers. Thank you so much for typing this. Yeah, Bal Leela, message, application, practical instructions. Very nice. So so this so thank you so much for sharing what you like. Yeah, we'll move forward. And we said we looked at a lot of things. Could be you may find it over here. Listening to kirtans. Kirtan is instant connection. When you close your eye, whenever the kirtan is going on, Sankirtan is congregational chanting of holy name, the one which we played before this class. So whenever that happens in live situation or recorded one, you just close your eyes and start singing with the group, and you will forget yourself. You can experience very instant connection with Krishna while singing and dancing in the kirtans. Very, very powerful medium of connecting with Krishna. Prasadam is like, it's a very, is a food tasted by Krishna and consumed by us. So indirectly, unknowingly, also we get connected with Krishna. We can connect different people with Krishna without their desire, without telling them, through by feeding them prasad. If you want to show them Krishna, you'll have to call them to the temple. But prasad, you can send it to them, and they consume it, and then they instantly feel the presence of Krishna. Daily chanting is a deep way of connecting with Krishna. Deity darshans, especially in ISKCON temples, all deities are beautiful, but in temple like ISKCON temples, deity, the deity's worship standards are very high. The the Prabhupada used to say that ISKCON temple is a place where is a exclusive place for glorification of the Lord. And everything we do is to glorify Krishna. We will dress them in such a beautiful way that his glories will increase. So it's an exclusive place for glorification of Krishna. So the deities will be dressed in the most exquisite way, the beautiful way, flawless way, very, very meticulously. Everything will be done. Cleanliness will be maintained. The garments will be beautiful. The jewelry will be top class. Uh, the everything will be high standard. Whatever yatha shakti, but to the best of our ability, devotees want to offer best to Krishna. And the garlands, beautiful garlands are made, and they are changed during the day. And a beautiful bhoga is prepared, that is offered as Naivedya, and that is distributed. So a temple becomes a place where God is gloriously glorified. Is a glorious way he's glorified. Everything is to increase his glory. Very, very beautifully done. So temple visit, that's why become very, very special. So kirtan, when devotees sing, they may not have a lot of knowledge about raga and alaps and uh, musical ingredients, but they will sing with so much love that Krishna will love it. So when child cries, a mother does not care whether the sur is proper, whether the swar is proper, whether the alap is good, or whether rag is there or not there. So she just hears the child crying and she rushed towards the child. Similarly, Krishna, when he hear us chanting and singing and praying to him, he rushed towards his children. Somebody mentioned about arti that we perform. There are six artis that happen. So there's a 4:30 a.m. Mangala Aarti, then 7:15, 7:30 Darshan Aarti, then Bhoga Aarti, then evening 4 o'clock Aarti, then 7 o'clock Aarti, and then Shayan Aarti. So every every arti is different songs are sung. The Mangala Arti, Samsara Davanala is sung. In the Darshanarti, Govindam Adipurusham is sung. That's prayers, a couple of prayers from Brahma Savita. Then Bhoga Arti, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhoga Arti bhajan is sung. Then in the evening there is a prayer, 7 Arti, 7 p.m. Uh, Gaura Arti is performed where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are glorified, and then Shayan Arti is sung with Hare Krishna Kirtan. So different artis, every arti will be an exclusively beautiful experience. Especially in Vrindavan, people we sing two Mangala artis. One in the Prabhupada quarter, front of Prabhupada Samadhi, Samsara Davanala is a guru prayer to Guru Gauranga, and and in front of Krishna Balram we sing another prayer, another beautiful prayer, Vibhavari Shesha Aloka Pravesha. Again, glorification of Lord Krishna and his Vrindavan pastime. So artis are very special. A lot of people spoke about. Somebody spoke about discussing philosophy. That can be very very powerful medium of connecting with Krishna, where we see what Krishna has spoken, what instruction Krishna has given, and their relevance in our today's day-to-day life. We see that, and we can get mesmerized by the depth of of those instructions by Krishna and their relevance after so many years in today's life. And so somebody can get mesmerized by the study of philosophy. Srila Prabhupada books, Yatra, a lot of people mention this, Vrindavan, Mayapur, is like going into a different time zone, traveling back in time and be with Krishna 24 by 7. Yatra is such a beautiful experience. And then a lot of people, the devotees mention about meeting, associating, and discussing with devotees. Meeting devotees and associating with devotees, these are two different things. We may meet devotees and discuss about war between Iran and Iraq and Israel, and that is not association with devotees. Meeting devotees and associating with devotees means association is either taken or given. When we give association, we give it's a we transfer our desires to the other person, our likings to the other person, our values to the other person. And when we take association, we do the reverse. We are taking desires from someone else. We are taking what other people like, and we become impressed by that, and we start liking what other people are liking. So when we take association from devotees, a devotee might love to sing in the kirtan. A devotee may love to remember verses, different verses, and memorize those verses. A devotee may be very good in explaining the philosophy. And when we associate with such devotees, when we take association from such devotees, we are taking these habits from them to us. And devotee, by sharing, his knowledge increases, his whatever he like doing, that liking increases. If he likes to discuss philosophy, his knowledge of philosophy deepens by discussing more. When If he likes singing kirtan, by teaching how to sing kirtan to others, his taste for singing increases. So the devotee benefit, and the person who is taking association, he benefits. So meeting devotees and discussing war and the recent and the future oil crisis is useless meeting. But associating with devotees, discussing with them about Krishna, seeking their guidance, seeking their mercy, praying to them, and and discussing our sharing our heart with them, taking instructions from them, and trying to sincerely work on those instructions. This is taking association with devotees, from devotees. Rather than giving association, we should be eager to take association from our senior devotees and gurus. And whenever any innocent people we associate with, we can give association to them. We can tell them about how we are benefiting by attending lectures on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. How do you find Bhagavad Gita very very relevant for my day-to-day life? How I find better mind control, better self mastery by practicing the principles that are taught in Bhagavad Gita. Now this way we can give association to others rather than taking their association and discussing and learning more about which film did how much business, which cricket team is going to win, which is the next trophy, and who is having affair with whom nowadays. Rather than taking association, we should try to give association. So that is the power of association. So we should take association from devotees, not and whenever opportunity comes, we should give association to those who are new to the devotional service. To the extent we can, we should give them association rather than taking somebody's wrong association. Let's talk about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a little bit more. Let's understand his avatar. So 7.28, Krishna says that a person who have acted previous piously in the previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful reactions are completely eradicated and freed from the dualities of delusion, and then they engage themselves in my service with determination. So in the 7.28, Krishna is saying, what are the prerequisites for becoming a devotee of Krishna? Taking up devotional service, bhakti कौन कर सकता है? Who can become a dedicated bhakta? Ahetuki apratihata. In the previous session we said, ahetuki, without any motive, who can worship me? Without interruption, who can worship me? Now both are very important, and Krishna says this person can become such a devotee. And so full purification is what is expected by Krishna in 7.28. And then 18.66, Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. So Krishna is asking, demanding for full surrender. So this is the problem. Bhagavad Gita gives us lot of useful information, but Bhagavad Gita demand also something. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna demands something. Krishna demands full purification, and Krishna demands full surrender. And he says, then ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajameham. As you will surrender to me, I will reciprocate. If you don't surrender to me, I will not reciprocate with you. Then your life will be led by your karma. I will simply be acting like a judge. But if you choose to surrender to me, to the degree of your surrender, I can reciprocate with you. I can interfere into your life. I can change your life to the extent you want me to change your life. So Krishna is reserved in his approach. Why? Because Krishna is respecting free will of all the living entities. After speaking entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says something very significant to Arjuna. He says, "Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru, vimri tena asheshena, yatha ichhasi tatha kuru." So, yatha ichha, we said earlier, yatha shakti. Similarly, Krishna says, Yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. As you desire, you do. Why? Because after speaking the entire Bhagavad Gita, in the 18.63rd or 62nd verse, Krishna is saying this, that as you desire, so you do. Why Krishna is not forcing? Krishna is not forcing action, his opinion on Arjuna. He's respecting Arjuna's free will. Krishna wants voluntary surrender from Arjuna, not a forceful surrender. No, he doesn't want to force Arjuna to surrender. He wants Arjuna to recognize, understand Krishna's greatness and Krishna's sweetness, and fall in love with Krishna and thereby surrender. Not out of threat कि ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा. That's not way Krishna want anybody to surrender to him. So Krishna is in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is demanding, Krishna is waiting for us to get fully purified and fully surrender. And then he says, ye yatha mam prapadyante. In the Bhagavatam, also Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is depicted as the absolute personality of Godhead. And his last teaching in that great book of transcendental knowledge instruct that one should give up all the modes of religious activities and accept him, Lord Sri Krishna, as the only worshipable Lord. The Lord then assured that all his devotees would be protected from all sorts of sinful act, and that for them there would be no cause of anxiety. Ma shucha, do not lament, do not fear. Thus the teachings of Bhagavad Gita were misinterpreted even by great scholars. After this disappearance of Lord Sri Krishna, there were hundreds of commentaries on Bhagavad Gita by many erudite scholars, and almost every one of them was motivated by self-interest. Now, this conclusion of Bhagavad Gita was not brought out in most of the commentaries that were written on Bhagavad Gita after disappearance of Lord Krishna. So Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita and people misunderstood it. Somebody wrote Bhagavad Gita book to educate people to how to get motivated. Somebody wrote found Bhagavad Gita, and they felt this is the book to do politics, to learn politics. Somebody took Bhagavad Gita, studied Bhagavad Gita, and thought maybe this is a book of strategy. Somebody studied Bhagavad Gita and thought maybe this is a book whereby I can learn Sanskrit. Somebody thought this is the book I can learn interpersonal relationship. Somebody can thought this is a book for learning mind control, and so on and so forth. And most of the people even thought of this book as propagating violence, and how I can motivate people to fight against injustice, to fight for their country. So a lot of politicians use this book to motivate countrymen that how you can fight again, how you should. You are a student of Bhagavad Gita, where you are from India, where the Bhagavad Gita was spoken. So why not you fight with Britishers? Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita and fought against the Kauravas. So Britishers are those like Kauravas, they are our enemies. So you should study Bhagavad Gita, and all the students of Bhagavad Gita should come out and fight against the Britishers. So a lot of people look at Bhagavad Gita and they draw their own conclusions. So the original message was lost. This is what Lord Krishna is thinking, looking at what's happening in the world. Everywhere people worship me by following regulatory principles and shastric injunctions. But one cannot gain loving sentiment possessed by the residents of Vrajabhumi by such practice. Knowing my opulence, whole world worship me with awe and reverence, but it does not attract me. Now, this is Krishna's thinking in his mind. This is why Bhagavad Gita is a matriculate book. As if we have matric level, graduation level, and post graduation level. So Bhagavad Gita is like a is like a matric level book. Uh, Srimad Bhagavatam is a graduation book. It's higher than definitely higher than Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita speak about all the principles of all the principles, all the rules and regulations that Bhagavad Gita gives. It's like a Bear Act, Companies Act, Bear Income Tax Act, something like a Bear Act. Bhagavad Gita is like a Bear Act, and Bhagavatam is like a case study that using the principles given in the Bear Act, how these principles were applied in different cases, different situations, and different time is what is given in Bhagavatam. Now, again, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam give progressive information about God. Bhagavad Gita introduces who God is, Krishna as God. Krishna present himself as the supreme personality of Godhead. Yomam evam asam mudho janati purushottamam sa sarva vida bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. In the 15.19th verse, Krishna says that if you once you know me to be that Purusham, Uttama Purusha, then sa Sarva Vida Bhajati Mam, Sarva Bhavena Bharata. Similarly, 10.8, the Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita, first verse, Krishna says that. Uh, अहम सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते माम बुधा भाव समन्वता, that I am the source of all the spiritual and material worlds, everything comes from me, and anybody who know this start worshipping me. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha. Such person is wise and he start worshipping me wholeheartedly. So multiple places Krishna is explaining this, that that he needs to be worshipped, and that is how he establishes himself to be the supreme personality of Godhead. Then comes Srimad Bhagavatam, where through various examples we understand how different people worship Krishna, uh, and different times and situations. Now it's one thing that Krishna gives us instruction that please worship me, but practically every we should know that this was done by somebody and this is doable. So similarly, Bhagavatam gives us those examples. That's why Bhagavatam is a case study of the rules are the same, principles are the same, but how those were applied by different people in different situations is what is taught in Bhagavatam. How Prahlad Maharaj remembered Vishnu, uh, despite of all attempts by his father through to threaten him, he tried his best to ask Prahlad to forget Vishnu, but Prahlad kept remembering Vishnu. So that is the significance of remembrance. Bhagavad Gita talks about in 8.5. Bhagavad Gita says that Krishna says that. अंतकाले च माम एवं स्मरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरम यत् प्रयाति समद्भाव यान्ति यान्ति नास्त्यत्र संशयः, that at the at the time of giving up your body you should remember me alone. Then he says that 8.7, he says tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anasmara yuddhya cha, again remembrance. Then 8.14 Krishna says ananya chetaha satatam yomam smrati nityashaha, again remembrance. Then in the 8 in the 10.10 also Krishna says that uh, tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam, again bhajatam, then is also remembering Krishna. So instruction was given to remember Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj practically showed how to remember Krishna, despite of in the midst of all miserable conditions, how I can still remember Krishna and how can benefit from Krishna. So in the 18.58 verse, Krishna says that um, again very beautiful word, Machitta Sarva Durgani Mat Prasadan Tarishyati. Machitta Sarva Durgani, by remembering me, by becoming conscious of me, by remaining to be conscious of me, by remembering me always. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles. Machitta Sarva Durgani Mat Prasadan Tarishati. By my mercy, by my grace, you will cross over all the hurdles. And Athachatvatvam Ahankaran Na Shrosyasi Vinakshasi. However, but because of the ahankar, if you do not listen to my instructions, no shrosyasi vinakshasi, the end result is you will be, all your plans will be lost. So if however you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So the remembrance of Krishna is s- so much importance is given in the entire Bhagavad Gita about the importance of remembering Krishna constantly. But and Prahlad Maharaj demonstrated that by his personal example, and thereby we see that how it is beneficial. Chaitanya Charitamrita is higher than Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because it is telling us what goes through Krishna's mind when he is observing his devotees, when he's seeing this world, when he's observing this world, the result of his instructions, what he want versus what is happening in the world. When he see this, what thought goes through his mind? So Chaitanya Charitamrita gives us glimpses of Lord Krishna's mind, what Krishna is thinking. Now we may speak something, but in my after completing our speech, and when we see people react to our speech, we may develop some thoughts. Those Chaitanya Chatamrut contain those thoughts. The deepest, most inside information is available in Chaitanya Chatamrut. Therefore, Chaitanya Chatamrut is considered to be even higher than the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because now it gives you the takes you inside, deep inside the heart of Lord Krishna, which is not available, not seen to and by anyone. Not this information is not available to everyone, not available for everyone, and that is how this becomes even higher than Shrimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is thinking that wherever, everywhere, people worship me by following regulatory principles and Shastric injunctions, but one cannot gain loving sentiment possessed by residents of Rajabhumi. He wants people to have that loving sentiment, and he says, by worshipping me, worshipping me, following the rules and regulations and Shastric injunctions, you may not get that love. That is, but he wants every one of us to get same love that the residents of Rajabhumi possess. Knowing my opulence, the whole world worship me with awe and reverence, but it does not attract me. Therefore, I shall personally inaugurate Nama Sankirtana. By accepting role of a devotee, I shall make the whole world dance in ecstasy. In this way, I shall teach loving devotional service by personally practicing it. If Krishna wants to show how to become devotee of Krishna, Krishna personally needs to come to this world, and by showing by personal example how to become devotee of Krishna, he can teach us how to become devotees of Krishna. No, if he can't publish a paper on how to become best devotees of Lord Krishna. People are so dumb in the Kali Yuga that people will not read. Even if they read, they will not understand. Even if they will understand, they will not practice. Why? Because they are caught up in so much desire fulfilling, propensities, that they will have no time to look at Krishna. And because they don't become devotees of Krishna, they will remain perpetually locked in the repeated cycle of birth and death. And that pains Krishna. We are all children of Krishna. Krishna want all of us to return to him. Krishna want all of us to love him, just like a father want his children to love him. So, and Krishna is waiting for us to turn to him and start loving him. And this has to be voluntary action, not by force. Krishna does not want to force us to love him. No pleasure in that. Krishna wants all of us to love him voluntarily. And for that, he's providing all the facilities. He's providing all the um, all the necessary facilities he's providing, so that people can take up his loving devotional service and become devotee, similar to that of Vrajabhumi, Vrindavan, where Krishna can have intimate exchanges with each one of us in our personal way. All of us have our own personal relationship with Krishna. It is real. It is for real, and Krishna wants to reciprocate with each one of us in a personal way. And for that to happen, Krishna wants all of us to turn our attention towards him, and then he can reciprocate. But how will that happen? Somebody has to show people how to become devotee of Krishna. And Krishna says, I will personally come and I will become devotee of Krishna. I will practice devotional service, and they show the whole world how to become devotee of Krishna. Now, these are called external reasons for coming to for becoming a for appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What are the internal reasons? There are internal reasons also. As I said, this is we are entering Krishna's mind, Krishna's heart, and this is these are internal reasons for appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna appearing as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Glory of Radharani's love for Krishna. Krishna wants to understand why Radha. What is the nature of Radharani's love for him? He sees that what wonderful qualities that he himself possesses, because of which Radharani is so much attracted towards him. He cannot understand himself by his singular endeavor. Why? Because he does not find much of attractiveness in his own self. So um, but he wants to understand, why is Radharani attracted to him? What is in it him that is so attractive for Radharani? And the third reason is, Krishna wants to understand that when he is in association of Srimati Radhika, uh, he gets pleasure. Now he is a Purusha. A Purusha is an enjoyer, and he is enjoying the loving association of Radharani. But what he finds astonishing for himself is that by giving him love, Radharani experienced joy million time more than what Krishna is experiencing by taking love, by receiving love. When I ask for something for my enjoyment, I am supposed to be the enjoyer, and the other person is a giver. So he's giving. So one may not one may give forcibly, one may give while giving is not a very, very pleasing activity in per se. So, so by giving, one feels pain. That's a general. If you are giving donation, okay, you may not feel pain, but your resources are reducing. uh, but here, when Radharani loves Krishna back, uh, she feels happier than Krishna. So Krishna wants to understand that how can, by giving me love, she experiences happiness which is million time more than my own happiness. I am the enjoyer, I am the Purusha, but my happiness seems to be negligible in front of happiness Radharani seems to be relishing by giving me what I want. Now this is astonishing. This is something that even Krishna cannot understand. So what he does, he decides to descend, come as in the mood of Radharani, in the mood by taking complexion of Radharani, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. So this Gaurangi now became Gauranga Mahaprabhu, has the same bodily complexion as that of Radharani, and he has a mood of Radharani. He has a mind of Radharani. He's carrying the mind of Radharani. He's Krishna himself appearing in the form and mood of Radharani. So he's Vishwambar, and he appeared on the Falgun Purnima in the 1486 by Christian year. So about 500 years back, he appeared in this material world. He appeared in Mayapur in West Bengal, Nadia district. Mayapur is the village which is now developed as the world headquarters of ISKCON. So the biggest temple, biggest ISKCON temple is coming up. Chandrodaya Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir is coming up in Sridham Mayapur, which is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And on the 3rd of March, there will be a huge festival that will be conducted across all ISKCON temples to celebrate the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Mahavadanyaya avatar. Mahavadanyaya, the most merciful avatar of Lord Krishna, where he is giving love of Krishna, loving devotional service to each and every one of us without checking the qualification. Krishna is reciprocal provided you are pure and you are surrendered. Mahaprabhu is reciprocal. Mahaprabhu wants to give love of Krishna that that the people from Vrajabhumi, Vrindavan Dham possess, that kind of love that Mother Yashoda possess, Nanda Baba possess, Gopasakha possess, Gopis possess. That kind of love Mahaprabhu wants to give to everyone without checking qualifications. So he's considered, he is the Mahavadanyaya, the most magnanimous, most magnificent avatar, the most merciful avatar of Lord Krishna. So he was named as Vishwambhar, or later became famous as Nimai Pandit, born to Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, and became famous Pandit. Pandit means very expert in Sanskrit grammar. And after renunciation, he became Chaitanya. He was known as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He appeared with his associates. So Lord Krishna never goes alone. Wherever he goes, wherever he appears, all his associates appears. So Panchatattva, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balram, Advaita Acharya, who is Mahavishnu, Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani, and Shivas Thakur, who is Narad Muni. So all of them appeared as in Nadia district, in and around Mayapur, and they all came together and performed pastimes. So the lifespan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was of 48 years. The covers the first, and his life story is captured in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the translation of which is written by Srila Prabhupada. So it's verse by verse, something similar to what we see in Bhagavad Gita, the verse by verse commentary on life story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Prabhupada gives word to word translation and purport in English. And this is also translated in all major languages, so you can grab your copy of Chaitanya Chatamrut very, very quickly and start reading it for receiving mercy from Lord Chaitanya. So it's broken in three category, three broad sections. One is Adi Lila, covers the first 24 years of his life, up till the point he took sannyas. The Madhya Lila covers the next 6 years of his life, when Mahaprabhu took sannyas and traveled all over India, predominantly the South India, and distributing Prema Bhakti through chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and also preached from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And Antya Leela, the last 18 years of his life, where Mahaprabhu primarily spent time in Jagannath Puri discussing Krishna Katha, or Krishna's pastime, with his very, very close associates like Ramanand Rai, Swarup Damodar, and discussing Krishna Katha with them, and fully relishing Krishna Katha. Relishing Krishna Katha. So he didn't, he was forgetting to eat and sleep and do anything while relishing, while listening to the Krishna Katha. So he was completely absorbed in remembrance of Krishna, deeply absorbed in remembering Krishna, and showed lots of symptoms of ecstasy through the changes at the bodily level, at the mind level. He was like a behave can at times he can behave like a madman, seeing Krishna, chasing Krishna, going after Krishna. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Feeling the separation from Krishna. That I've not seen Krishna. When will I meet Krishna? And seeing this in this, so meeting Krishna in the separation of Krishna. So he was extremely closely associating with Krishna in the separation, in the mood of separation of Krishna. It's a Vipra Lambara Bhava. Vipra Lamba Bhava is you're separated from Krishna. But when you're separate, you remember the person from whom you are separated the most. And that remembrance is extremely deep and extremely powerful. Very, very strong remembrance of Krishna you have when you are not with Krishna. And Mahaprabhu relish that remembrance of Krishna in those last 18 years of his discussion of Krishna Katha with his very, very intimate, close associates. the so this 88 verses comes in the end of Antyalila, are called instructions to oneself. Shikshashtakam. So the overview of these 8 verses. Um, so they're given. There's no book. It's not that it's Mahaprabhu wrote it in a book and published that these 8 verses should be chanted by devotees. Mahaprabhu gave these verses at different times. And all of those are listed in towards the end of Antalila as the last section. Last few verses of Antalila are these Shikshashtakam verses, and Prabhupada has given some commentary also for that. Now, Mahaprabhu concluded his pastime, and he said that some saw him walk into the ocean of Jagannath Puri and just never returned. Some saw Mahaprabhu entered the Jagannath deity. He came to the Jagannath temple in Jagannath Puri and straight walked into his deity and disappeared. And some says Mahaprabhu, so that way Mahaprabhu's there is no Samadhi Mandir of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu just concluded his pastime when his objective was met. And so so that's why Jagannath Puri is famous for Lord Jagannath, but is more famous for the different pastime performed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in and around the temple of Lord Jagannath. He's Krishna himself, and he would see Krishna and he would faint in ecstasy. He would, if he has not visited temple, he will feel separation of Krishna and he will cry endlessly by remembering Krishna. And by seeing Krishna, he would faint by because of the ecstasy that he experienced by seeing Krishna. He's Krishna and he see Krishna and he faints in ecstasy. So so beautiful pastimes, beautiful pastimes. And by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, those are available to us in English. So we all should take benefit of studying these pastimes and knowing more and more about Mahaprabhu Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, and what Mahaprabhu wants to give. He wants to give the the pure devotional service to each and everyone. The love that the Brajavasis experience, that love of Krishna, he wants to give to everyone. And Krishna is very careful in giving that love. He says, if I give that love, I'm like that person can make me dance to his tune. Whoever loves me, that person, I'm sold to those people. I'm like, they purchase me as if, and then if they tell me to dance, I dance. So I'm very reserved in giving that level of love to people. But Mahaprabhu is most merciful, and he's freely distributing that love of Vrindavan to each and everyone. It's up to us to whether we want to take it. It's up to us whether how best we can apply ourselves to the process given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and become get this love of Krishna. Mahaprabhu emphasized on this aspect, Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. Mahaprabhu gives Sambandha Krishna, Abhideya Bhakti, and Prayojana Prema or love for Krishna. Becoming fall in love with Krishna, become mad for Krishna, and thereby perform devotional service to Krishna. So with this, we will jump into the session for discussing some of the verses. With this background, we are at 12 o'clock. We hopefully may not be able to finish all full verses in the time, but feel free to jot down your questions and post them in the chat box. And Ashwin Roji can you can take you can just keep keep taking note of those questions, and we can pick them up towards the after discussing the first verse. The first verse itself is a big verse and it contains lots of information, a lot to discuss in the first verse itself. And we chant this beautiful verse, and then we will go into the word by word meaning and deep into the deeper meaning of this verse. We will explore. चेतो दर्पण मार्जनम भव महा दावाग्नि निर्वापणम श्रेय कैरव चंद्रिका वितरणम विद्या वधु जीवनम. आनंदम अंबुधि वर्धनम प्रतिपदम पूर्णामृता स्वादनम सर्वात्मम स्नपनम परम विजयते श्री कृष्ण संकीर्तनम. We can sing this verse also. I'll sing this, and that meter also you can use to sing. चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहान् निर्वापणम् श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दम् बुधिवर्धनम् प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृता स्वादनम् सर्वात्मं स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्. So, Cheto. Cheto is translated as the region of heart. Cheto, Chetana. So it's not exactly the mind, but it is largely translated as mind. But it includes mind and intelligence. But for our practical purpose, we can consider Cheto to be the mind or the region of our heart where all our emotions are stored. Darpana means mirror, and marjanam means the process of cleansing. And what does this do? Cheto is a mirror of mind, cleaning the mirror of mind. Cheto darpana marjanam. So very beautiful poetic expressions we can see in this particular beautiful verse. Bhava Mahadavagni. Davagni means forest fire. Mahadavagni means great forest fire. And Bhava Mahadavagni, that forest fire is that of a Bhavasagar, blazing forest fire of material existence. Nirvapanam means extinguishing. We have fire and we have fire extinguisher. So that taking care of that fire, extinguishing that fire is done with the help of fire extinguisher. So that is nirvapanam. Then Shreyah Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam. Now this is moon of Chandrika, moon like and this moon has to rise. Moon has to rise of if this once this fire, forest fire is put to rest, then this moon can rise. And that moon is how it is Vidyavadhu Jivanam. It is the heart and soul of all the devotees. What will it do? Anandam Ambudhi Vardhanam. Ananda is bliss. Ambudhi means ocean. Ambudhi means ocean. So Ananda, what kind of a Ananda we are talking about? That bliss is that of a size of an ocean. It's the ocean like bliss. So it's not a few droplets of bliss. So what we experience in the material world is few droplets of bliss. We are happy for a minute or two, or at the moment for maybe a few minutes, and maybe a few hours or few days, but that is nothing. It is like few drops of happiness sprinkled over in our life so that we can tolerate the miseries of life becomes tolerable to us. So this happiness keeps us afloat, gives us hope that maybe abhi a miserable condition hai, but that happiness state will come. So this is they just keep us alive. But this kind of a happiness that Mahaprabhu is describing is that of the size of an ocean like happiness. Now we have oceans also have borders. We have this Arabic Sea, and then on the other side there will be continents. There will be the Middle East countries on the on towards the northeast or northwest, and then there is the African continent that will be there on the other side of the as we move towards the west. So our oceans have limitations. But this ocean, Anandam Ambudhi Vardhanam. Ambudhi, this is a ever increasing oceans. And when does it increase? Does it increase once a year? No, no. This increases pratipadam at every step. At every step, the moment as you perform devotional service, as you take steps towards performing devotional service, this ocean like happiness keep increasing. And so that is the level of joy that is awaiting us. That is the kind of happiness, blissful situation. We are searching for small droplets of bliss through our endeavors in this material world. However, Mahaprabhu says that level of happiness is awaiting you. And so that you can experience that while you're in present body. It's not that you have to give up this body and to experience that happiness. No, no. In this body, right here, right now, also you can experience this ever increasing ocean like bliss in this lifetime. Purnamrita swadanam. You can take aswad of this, completely satisfy you. Sarvatnam snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. There be, let the let the param vijayate Krishna Sankirtana of Sri Krishna be victorious. Be victorious. Let's see the translation. Translation says that let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of heart and stop miseries of blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is waxing moon that spreads the white lotus good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. Chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone and enables one to taste the full nectar at every step. It's too much to learn in this verse. So let's break this verse in the smaller pieces, and then we'll try to understand this and digest it to the best of our ability. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. What do you mean by this? So, glories of the holy name are described and declared as Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So glorious is the holy name. Let the holy name be victorious. Now, what do you mean by that? When we say that let there be victory, means um, there is a war that's happening. There is some battle happening somewhere, and where we are desiring for somebody to become victorious. So for example, there's going to be a cricket match being played between say India and Pakistan, and then it's going to be played in a neutral country like say Sri Lanka, and then we say that let team India be victorious. Now here, so there we have the full context. But when Krishna says, Mahaprabhu says that let the holy name be victorious, it is where is the battleground, where is the battle happening, and in between whom. Whenever we talk about a victory, these two questions should immediately pop in our head, that okay, you're talking about becoming victorious, but who are you it's against whom? Is there a if there is a battle happening where you are wishing for somebody to become victorious, uh, it's between who and whom, which two parties are really battling it out, and where is this battle going on? Now Mahaprabhu explains that this battle is going on in the region of our heart. The name Mahaprabhu wants Sankirtan, the Krishna's name to become victorious in the region of our heart. He want Krishna's name to conquer our heart. When we remember the glory of the holy name and that inspires us to surrender to Krishna, we say our Krishna has become victorious. Now, again, our surrender to Krishna is a voluntary submission. This is not by force. When the two armies they fight a battle, and then the one army overpowers the other army and conquer their chief commander, king, and then they is presented in front of the other king, and then he says, "I submit." Now this is submission by force. He has not won the heart of that this the king who has lost the battle is always thinking, how can I come back? How can I again go back, you know collect more army, train them nicely, collect some money, and again, come back to this king and win back my own kingdom. But right now I have no choice. I have to stop destruction. I have to surrender. I have to surrender by force. Krishna is not interested in our surrender by force. Krishna want our voluntary surrender. Krishna want us to surrender on our own. So Krishna wants to conquer our heart. When that happens, we have no other desire but to surrender to Krishna. We will lovingly surrender to Krishna. So when it is said that Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, Mahaprabhu is saying, let the holy name be victorious, means we appreciate the glories of the holy name and then we voluntarily surrender to the holy name. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. That by understanding those glories, we voluntarily wants to surrender to the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We are all chanting, all of us must be chanting, and today we chant for various reasons. Some of us may chant because it is good. We've been told by our senior devotees to chant, therefore we am chanting. Some may chant because they may feel that this is a good activity. Rather than singing Bollywood film songs, let me chant Krishna's name. Some may chant because they feel this may bring them good fortune. Some may chant because it may give them peace of mind, but some will chant out of love for Krishna. A mother keep taking name of her son or her daughter out of love. When her child is gone to America for study and then take up a job there, then has is worried about returning to the country because he may not get visa extension, his H1 may expire, Trump may not allow him to Trump may not give him another visa, and then he will have to give up his house, his car, his beautiful wife, beautiful the children. They are all having American passport. He does not have, and he's having Indian passport, that he will struggle to come back. So so because of all this, there is a separation. The mother is separated from her child, but when she's remembering her son constantly, she's not doing it out of force, she's doing it out of love. So this is what Krishna want us to do. He want us to voluntarily surrender to his holy name. By understanding how glorious that holy name is, how glorious, how much beneficial this surrender to that holy name is, and hence one should surrender, one should voluntarily surrender to the holy name. Krishna tells Arjuna in 18.66 that Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, just surrender unto me. And Arjuna says, I will surrender. Nashto moha smritir labdva tvat prasadan maya achyuta. by your mercy, nashto moha, I have lost all my confusion, moha, and gain my and nashto moha smritir ladva. I have gained my remembrance. I remember my position to be your servant, eternal servant of Lord Krishna. And tvat prasadanmaya achyuta. Because, and this has happened not because of my own intelligence, by my own endeavor. This has happened because of your great mercy upon me. By your mercy, I have regained this correct position of mind. And now, how do I feel? Sthitosmi. I feel fixed in my endeavor, in my devotion. Gata sandeha. All my confusion is lost. I'm fixed in my consciousness. And karishye vachanam tava. I will do your will. Whatever you want me to do, I will do. I am your servant. Just tell me what to do and I will do it. I will do your will. So after he says this, Bhagavad Gita ends with the 18.78th verse, which describes Arjuna to be Yatro Partho Dhanurdhara. Yat- Yatro Partha Dhanurdhara means Arjuna has picked up his Gandiva bow and is now ready to fight. Now, the same Gandiva bow he was unable to hold in his hand in the first chapter. Therefore, it slipped away. He gave away that Gandiva. It's a glorious bow. Uh, but he was not even able to, he was in such a mental condition that he was not able to hold that bow in his hand. And therefore, he had to give it up. Now, the same Arjuna has picked up his bow and is therefore Sanjay is describing in the last verse of Bhagavad Gita as Arjuna as a Dhanurdhara. Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. Means he's not just showing by verbally saying that I'm ready to do what you want me to do, but he's actually picked up the bow and now Krishna want him to fight and he is prepared to fight for Krishna's desire. And so be it if it is against his own grandfather. So be it even if it is against his own guru. So be it even if it is against his own brothers and relatives and friends and so on. He is not bothered. Now he's fixed in his consciousness, he's prepared to fight. So this is surrender. So surrender here is actually not the end of the war but the beginning of the war. So this surrender is not surrender of a frustrated military general but who's been defeated but and who has no other alternative but to surrender. But this surrender is actually voluntary offering of one's heart to Krishna out of love. So everything is important. The surrender is actually a voluntary offering of one's heart, one's will, and one's heart out of love, not out of force, but out of love. Not only one's will means one's desires, one desire to surrender, and one feel great joy in doing that. That's what is there in one's heart also. So one's own will and one's own heart, with that one is surrendering out of love for the other person and it is done voluntarily. So this is most important. When it is said again, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, let the holy name be glorious. That means voluntarily submit to the holy name. Oh, the holy name is such glorious manifestation of Krishna. So let me offer my heart to that holy name. So in that way, when we meditate on the glory of that holy name, we are praying to the holy name because we are praying to the holy name to become victorious in the territory of our heart. That means our heart submits to the holy name. And when will that happen? When we understand the glory of the holy name. So, what is in our heart? What is currently stopping us from surrendering to Krishna? The result of understanding the glories is that the result of understanding his glories is that our reluctance to surrender changes to willingness to surrender. For that, we need to understand the glories of holy name. And when we understand how glorious Lord Krishna is, how glorious his name is, how beneficial his name is, then our reluctance to surrender changes to willingness to surrender. And when we become willing to surrender, then the holy name conquers our heart. So, Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So, let's take a look at the glories of holy name which can inspire us to surrender. So, first, it is Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Now, let's look at that aspect. Now, the holy name in the region of our heart, what is there in the region of heart that prevent us from surrendering to Krishna? Now let's go in the direction of our heart. Let's try to take a look inside our heart to see what what it contains, because of which we are not developing a desire to surrender to Krishna. There is a reluctance on our part to give our heart to Krishna. So let's see what is in it there which is preventing us from doing it. Cheto Darpana Marjanam is a cleansing the mirror of mind with Krishna's name. That's practically it means. Mind. Let's come to this beautiful topic of mind once again. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Sometimes we use our mind like a window. We have beautiful day today. If you have a window to your home, you open the window, what you see is what is there outside. If there is a opposite side, opposite to, if there are some trees, we will see trees. If there is a road, we will see road. If there is a car coming, bus going, children playing, some people are talking, some vegetable vendors are selling vegetables, some people are playing cricket, somebody is, so whatever is happening outside, when we open the window, we see things as they are. We see things as they are. Sometimes mind, we use our mind like a window to perceive the world outside as it is. So this is called being present in present. When we say we use the mind, implies that we are different than our mind. Okay, so let's go back to the basics of Bhagavad Gita, which teach us that we are spirit soul. We are spirit soul, and the first covering that we have is a subtle covering which comprises of that of mind, intelligence, and ego. And the second covering we have is that of our gross body, which is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. So the soul is constant contact with the mind predominantly, and through mind it reaches out to the senses, the working senses, which includes eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, to perceive the world outside. I'm switching off AC, air conditioner, after some time. Why? My body, the skin is perceiving the cold weather. Something get cooked for lunch prasad, then the smell, the fragrance may enter my nose, and I may get activated by that. So so the soul is receiving inputs from various sources, predominantly through the senses, but soul is perceiving the world outside through the gates of our mind, through the door of our mind. So soul opens the door of mind, and through eyes it is able to see things as they are. So this is one use of mind, but this is not the only use of our mind. Sometimes soul use our mind like a TV screen. Okay, soul wants to play a video of what happened last night. Okay, something pleasant might have had happened where you went to a party, there was a get together where all your relatives gathered. There were elders, you're all paying obeisances, then there was nice food, nice prasad was prepared, and you're eating, you're meeting all your relatives, your brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, and you were sharing lot of talks, lot of laughter, and lot of gifts were exchanged. So that happened last night, and today morning you're replaying lots of those videos in the screen of your mind while you are now different location now, but you are probably only with a few people from your own family. You're with them, you're woken up in the morning, and you're still remembering what all happened yesterday, what all happened last evening, who came first, who came second, who said what who was wearing what I ate, what somebody else ate, which joke you liked the most, who what was being played on the tape recorder, some music was playing, who was clicking pictures, which pose you gave to whom, and so on so forth. Children were doing what, and all the things that you're remembering from the previous day, previous evening, and your mind, you're just sitting somewhere looking at some place, or maybe looking outside the balcony or your own window, but you're not noticing what's happening on the outside or what's happening inside your home also. You're just screen of your mind, you're replaying the video from last night. Now this is using mind as a TV screen. This is called using your mind like a TV screen. It's a screen wherein you're playing video of your choice. You want to play what happened in the office the previous week, on the Friday, Thursday, something dramatic happens, some bad meeting happens, something um, terrible happened, or something glorious happened. You how you presented, how you did a wonderful presentation, and everyone in the office was so impressed by you, by your speech, how you prepared such a beautiful report and helped win one tender, got a new contract signed for your company, and how everyone was appreciative of that, and all of those scenes. Over the weekend, while unwinding, in the relaxed mood, you're playing from your previous week or previous day. So here we are seeing things in front of us, but we are not seeing them. We're getting the input from these senses, but our mind, we are playing the video of some other event, some other prominent event. So here we are using the screen of our mind like a TV screen, and we are playing different videos. We are using it to play different videos. Here we are we are um, we are actually transported into a different world, a different situation, um, different period. It could be from past, it could be in some other place, it could be you might be sitting in Mumbai, last night you were in Delhi. So in the mind can take you back to Delhi and show everything that happened in Delhi previous day. So um, so so here you're transported into a different world altogether, and you get cut off from the present. This is called absent in present. You are present in your body is present, but mentally you are absent in the present. It may so happen in the meeting, office meetings, you may be sitting with your colleagues and boss giving some presentation, and suddenly a thought might come to your mind that did you lock your door while leaving home, or you forgot locking your door? But the moment that thought comes, your mind goes back to your home. Even though physically you are sitting in office, 1 hour back you left your home, and your mind is frantically trying to remember how you left your home. And you go back there, you try to remember when you wore the shoes, you picked up your bag, you picked up your tiffin, then you rush towards the staircase, you're pressing the lift button, you're already late. I don't know, I forgot. I'm not sure if I really locked the door. I didn't lock the door. So after this meeting, let me go and call my neighbor and ask him to check if the door is locked. At least tell my watchman or whatever, do something. Um, so what is happening is you're physically sitting in a meeting. You have ears there, your eyes there, you're seeing the image of boss in front of you, but in your mind you're upset. And if some questions are asked about what was discussed a minute before, you are not able to remember it because you never heard it in the first place. So even though the ears are there, even though the eyes are there, the input is coming inside the mind. It's reaching the mind, but not absorbed by the mind. Mind is not able to focus on that information, so it comes towards the mind but it gets rejected by the mind and just remains there, it just goes back. So mind is not able to take notice of these inputs which are coming from different senses. Why? Because mind is now busy seeing something else, doing something else, and therefore we become absent in the present. Beautiful verse in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says that Kshotram chakshuhu sparshanam cha rasanam ghranam evacha adhishthaya manaschayam vishayan upasevate. Krishna is explaining to Arjuna the process of transmigration, how you change body, how you go from one body to another body. People don't know this. People have not studied Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, people don't even have a firm belief that they will get another body. And therefore, that precisely for that reason, people are acting recklessly in this life because they feel they are not responsible for their action. And therefore, they end up performing horrible karma and get a degraded lifestyle. Degraded lifestyle where they where their chances of remembering Krishna becomes very, very weak. So so that way they do much harm to them. So Krishna speak in this particular beautiful verse that how a soul obtains a specific type of indriya, specific type of senses, and they said they are all grouped together around mind. The five senses are grouped together around mind, so each one of them send their inputs towards the mind. On the screen of mind they are all gathered and they are all replayed. So and then they try to enjoy a particular type of sense object. So the mind receives input from all the five senses, and wherever the mind focus goes, so suppose something is coming from the eyes, the mind catches that, it catches the attention of the mind, and then mind try to enjoy the sense object. By engaging in the offenseless chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one starts the process of cleaning the mind. Now, mind is a subtle organ. Mind, our body, we can cleanse by applying soap. Okay, by applying soap, it is a gross matter. As a body is made up of, hand is made up of gross element, soap is made up of gross element, and both are material. So one material can clean the other material object. So soap is material object, hand is a material object, so the hand can be cleaned by the soap. But the same soap is not useful to clean my mind because mind is a subtle object. Mind cannot be cleaned by any soap, and hence a sound vibration is required for the mind to be cleaned. Not any sound vibration. Can you chant Pepsi Cola and cleanse your mind? You cannot. Can you chant, what about Coca Cola? You cannot. What about Britannia biscuits? You cannot. Why? Why not? What's so special about Hare Krishna Mahamantra? It's special because Krishna is present in his name. Now, how can Krishna become present in this name while Pepsi Cola and Coca Cola are absent in their name? After chanting of Pepsi Cola 100 times, you don't get the satisfaction of drinking Pepsi Cola because Pepsi Cola is actually missing. It's there in the bottle or in the can. It's missing in its name. But Krishna is present in his name. Because Krishna is present, Krishna is spiritual and a mind. So there is a hierarchy. This is material, subtle is above material, and spiritual is highest. The highest is the spiritual form. Spiritual also, the soul is highest and the super soul is the highest manifestation. So there is a clear order. The lower order can be controlled by the higher order. Mind can control matter. Soul can control both mind as well as the matter. And super soul can actually control the entire thing. So it's not very difficult to understand the hierarchy. So by when we allow Krishna to enter our mind, because Krishna is the supreme soul, Krishna and the mind is below even soul. So Krishna is here, soul is here, and the mind is here. Now our mind is so messed up that we on our own cannot clean it. And hence Krishna, we need Krishna to enter our mind and cleanse that mind by of unwanted desires. So we may it may take so that's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that amongst the six indriyas I am the mind. And because Krishna is the mind, only Krishna can clean our mind. Because Krishna is mind, only Krishna can clean our mind. We also, by our own endeavor, really cannot clean our mind. But when we engage that mind in the remembrance of Krishna, when we allow that mind to come in contact with Krishna, the cleansing process begins. The cleansing process starts. So, now this process may take a short time or long time for us to progress, the cleansing to happen, and it depends on how much dirt that we have accumulated through our previous millions of years. But it's also depends on how much sincerely we are taking to the process of chanting. Our sincerity, the speed depends in a flash of a second. Also Krishna can destroy all our sinful actions. All our anarthas can be gone just by a second. It doesn't even require a second for Krishna, but we have to have that degree of surrender to Krishna. Then only it can happen. When our surrender is partial, the cleansing also happens partially. We need guidance of devotees for chanting. We need, therefore we encourage everyone to join morning japa session and chant with devotees. Why we need guidance? We have example of Narad Muni giving guidance to Valya, that he says, Maharaj, I am not able to chant the name of Ram. I am so sinful, I cannot pronounce the name Ram. What should I do? Maharaj says, okay, you're expert in killing, right? Yes, I'm expert in killing. I've killed so many people. I've killed so many animals. That's my business. I do it for my living. So I can kill. So he says, when you kill, what happens? He says, people die. And how do you pronounce that? He says, Mara, Mara, Mara. Ah, very good, very good, very good. Dalad Muni said, very good. So what you should chant? You say, chant Mara, 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 Mara. Just like how you say, tum maro, 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 mara, 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 mara. And then he started pronouncing Ram, 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 Ram. And then he got the realization and eventually became wonderful devotee of Ram, Lord Ram. So we need guidance of devotees. When Prahlad Maharaj wanted to go to Vana forest because of search of God, search of Vishnu, Narad Muni explained him to mantra to chant, and the next 6 months he had a darshan of Vishnu. So a devotee can help us navigate through our difficult situations to chant effectively and attain Krishna Prem in a very very short time. So, Guru Krishna Brahmanda Brahmito Kono Bhagyavana Jeev. Mahaprabhu says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita beautiful verse that Brahmande Brahmito Kono Bhagyavana Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Beej. So, by mercy of Guru and Krishna, you can become a devotee of Lord Krishna, not otherwise. So, this chanting of holy name under the guidance of devotees, the as sincere we may become, uh, that much faster we can progress in the path of awakening love for Krishna. Um, so immediate positive results, effects of chanting of holy name. So there is a ultimate result. Ultimate result is attaining love of Krishna. It's like an engineering student. We saw some time back that um, that Sambandha Krishna, Abhideya Bhakti, Prayojana is attaining love for Krishna. Ultimate benefit. How do we understand that? So, for suppose if you are a student, if you are a engineering student, what is the Sambandha? Sambandha is engineering subjects. You're studying physics, you're studying chemistry, you're studying doing some engineering drawing, you're attending some workshops, you're attending some college, you're appearing some exams, you're writing some papers, you're doing some practical, you're giving some vivas. So this is Sambandha Gyan is actually the engineering this thing. And what is it? Why you are doing what you are doing? Because you want to get a engineering degree. You want to become, say, software engineer, engineer, computer science engineer, or whatever you want to become. So you want to become that. So Sambandha Krishna Abhideya Bhakti, the process is that of bhakti. And what is the ultimate gain that you want to do? It's not that you're just doing it for the getting a degree certificate from engineering college. Well, that's necessary, but that's not the ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is to use that degree certificate, and maybe I want to go to America. I want to work for Microsoft. I want to work for Dell. Um, Apple or somewhere, wherever I want to work for Google in Silicon Valley, and have a big house, have a big car, want to take my parents there. I want to live a very luxurious life. Now, this is the ultimate dream, ultimate benefit that I want to achieve. Of by why am I studying Sambandha Krishna, Abhideya Bhakti, and Prayojana Krishna Prema? Ultimately, I want to attain love for Krishna. So just like the student want to attend, the ultimately want to go and enjoy in some foreign country. So devotee ultimate destination is attaining love for Krishna. So but it's not that when that until that happens there are no benefits. The process itself has so many beautiful benefits. Which are those? The immediate benefit, positive effect that one can experience by taking up chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra are the better mind control. One can have better mind control, better sense control. It's a self mastery one can easily experience the moment they take up to the process of chanting. This also includes increased tolerance, our anger going down, our sustenance increasing, our tolerance increasing. We are able to deal with difficult situations easily. We don't lose our mind that fast. Humility, we understand that everything is happening with the mercy of Krishna. Truthfulness, uh, devotees are truthful. Focus on activities, increased focus on activities. Bhagavad Gita, beautiful verse 2.41, Krishna says that Vyavasait Maka Buddhi Ekeha Kurunandana. It have a single minded focus. Why? Because they don't have distractions. Devotees don't have distraction. They know what is their ultimate goal, and therefore they're able to bring single minded focus on their activities. Better ability to discriminate in right and wrong, moral immoral, uh, should be done not should be done, and what is according to the scripture, not according to the scriptures, what is anukul for bhakti, what is pratikul for bhakti. One needs to discriminate. One just can't say that everything is fine. Jo aapko marzi aaye karo. That's garbage. That's nonsense. That's animalistic view. Um, that has to one should learn to discriminate. One should learn to know what is right, what is wrong. And the more practice you have done for chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, better is your ability to discriminate between right and wrong. Reduced unwanted desires, and many more wonderful benefits that accrues. This is not this is way lower. These are all material benefit. They are all material benefits. So Krishna Prem is the ultimate benefit. That one will gain by engaging in chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. 16108 is considered to be mercy helpline for devotees. 108 are the bead count in every japamala, and such round is 10 counting Hare Krishna chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra for 108 times, and devotees chant 16 such rounds, which takes up to 2 hours of daily time. But devotees do that with love. They do that voluntarily. Why? Because not because they want to achieve all of these benefits, but they come as a side effect, as a they just come. But one is not focused on them, one is focused on getting Krishna prem. uh, so that way, one is focused on performing one's actions. Desires and doubt keep us away from Krishna. The desires enters our mind, can have two side effects. A desire may get fulfilled. If that happens, whatever we desire, when that happens, when that desire get fulfilled, it leads to pride and arrogance, and that results in increasing greed and hankering. And then the fear comes of losing what we have. So ultimately, not a comfortable position. If my desires come and they don't get fulfilled, when the desires are not fulfilled, it leads to anger and frustration, anxiety, distress, arrogance, and more desire may happen. If things are not working out with this, let me try with this, let me try with this, let me try with this, and I will. If I'm not happy becoming with my one partner, let me change my partner because that partner is useless. So I'll go to another partner, another partner, another partner, and like that, I'll keep switching partners, but not becoming happy. And so like that, we when the desires are not fulfilled to up to our satisfaction, it does not meet our satisfaction level, then leads to anger. That Because in our mind we have already imagine the pleasure to be this, and when what we get is this, then obviously that naturally there will be frustration. Imagine you are promised a salary of 1 lakh rupee a month, and while practically you are giving just 10,000 or even 1,000 a month. uh, Imagine the kind of frustration that you will feel. So similarly, the soul experience frustration. Why? Because the soul has already in his mind, he has already imagined he's already fantasizing. When the desire enters his mind, he always fantasizes how much will be the pleasure, and for him the pleasure is going to be this, but in reality the pleasure happens to be this, and that leads to anger and frustration and anxiety, and it leads to distress, frustration, all the negative symptoms pop up. So it results in lamentation and misery. No wonder. What should we do? Just when we chant, Prabhupada writes, just when we chant more and more, we feel, yes, I want to serve Krishna. So, in that sense, it purifies us. Cheto darpana marjanam. So, when there are other desires, sensual desires, any kind of desires, when they become very strong, if we just keep chanting, then gradually we will find all those other desires subside, and our consciousness becomes clear, so the other desires are beaten back. Just like, if say enemy soldiers are attacking, and when they are attacking, then if there is a continuous defensive fire, then the enemy soldiers are charging forward, but when there is a continuous fire going on, they are held back by that. They may still keep coming, but when the offensive fire goes, one one, there will be casualties, and the will fall, and they will fall, and eventually they will stop. So Mahadavagni means that it is such a great fire that it cannot be extinguished by human effort. Forest fires cannot be extinguished by human effort. No fire extinguisher work. What happens when the cloud comes and the cloud shower rain, the forest fire becomes peaceful. Similarly, in our life, we all face different kind of problems, and we do put in effort to solve those problems on our own, and we can, to a certain degree, we can actually solve some specific problems also. For example, when we fall sick, um, it's a material problem and there are material solutions available. So I take, if I when I fall sick, I take medicine, I get better. When I lose job, I try to find another job and I get job and I continue in my life. So this is giving a material solution for a material problem. We are solving material problem with material solutions, and to that certain extent this is necessary. However, at a material level, we can and we should work to solve whatever problems we have, but we cannot solve the problematic material existence itself. We cannot by solving, we cannot, if some problems pop up here and there, we should try to solve them, but none of those problem solving will actually end our material existence per se. That we are in this material world, we are facing the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi problems. There are Adi Devi, Adi Adhyatmik, and Adi Devi kleshas, and by various ways and means, I am experiencing problem, I'm experiencing pain, misery, lamentation, and all of that. All those problems cannot be solved. So this my problematic situation cannot be solved by any of my material effort. So one problem will go, another will pop up, and then the third problem will come, then the fourth will come. So this problematic nature of this material existence, that can be rectified only by Krishna's mercy. So when the mind stop proposing, actu- actually at one level, that is the realization. So the mind itself does not say anything. Say, for example, some of us might be eating meat before we came to bhakti, before becoming devotee, before starting chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Some of us possibly were eating meat, and not by force but by choice. Some of us probably liked it as well. So now, but after having taken to the process of devotional service, having heard the importance of following of those four regulatory principles, which includes no meat eating, for mercy, showing mercy to the animal, we have given up that meat eating initially, as a force, by force, as a rule, but eventually we eat prasad. We eat prasad, and every day we eat food which is offered to Krishna. And by that, prasadam, by tasting the prasad, which is a higher kind of food. It's not a food, it's a mercy. Our desire to eat meat has only gone away. So, for example, some of us might be eating meat before we came to bhakti. Now, if we see somebody eating meat, if we are traveling and we somebody meeting eat, then no devotee is actually attracted to that eating. Prasadam is literally a higher taste. So what happened? The mind has stopped proposing itself. So actually, when that happens, the mind stop proposing. Then bhakti becomes joyful. When mind stops proposing, doing wrong things, bhakti becomes joyful. And as long as the mind keep proposing, come on, do this, do that, nobody's watching, let's do it. We have to keep saying no to it. Now that is a hard work. There's a proposal coming from the mind, do it, do it, do it, and then you have to forcibly keep saying no, 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 no. Now that is not a very joyful situation. You're too busy saying no to your mind than busy appreciating and loving Krishna. So you're just, this is a problematic situation. This is not very joyful. Doesn't make bhakti to be very joyful. So we are distracted from Krishna at that time. But gradually we keep saying no, 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 no. Gradually, when the mind itself says, when the mind itself understand that there's no pleasure over here, the let me start proposing only, let me stop proposing at all. So then what happens is bhakti becomes very joyful because there is no distraction coming from within itself. The bhakti becomes joyful. That is why there is mind control and then there is mind conversion. We have to control the mind as we are practicing bhakti, and that requires intelligence. But by steady practice of bhakti, the mind itself gets converted. Converted means that the mind itself will eventually start becoming attracted to Krishna and doesn't want, does not start getting attracted to the worldly things. And that is the stage when my mind becomes a friend. Otherwise, my mind is continues to be my enemy. But this is where, when the moment my mind develops attraction for Krishna, my mind becomes my friend. So that it can take, it can take long time depending on our attachments. It can take us a long time or it can take a short time for us to convert our mind into our friend, convert our mind from liking worldly things for sensual pleasures to liking Krishna. And that conversion, when that happens, the proposals only stop coming true for worldly engagement from the mind. So one may want, still have a desire to listen to the music, and one may switch on kirtan instead of switching on radio and listen to some Bollywood song. So when one gets hungry, one one offer food to Krishna and eat is as his mercy, as prasad. Now, it's not about becoming or remaining hungry. It's about satisfying our desires in the right way. And mind will play a big role in that, in this case. So when the screen of our mind becomes free from the clutter of desires and the emotion which arise from the fulfilled and unfulfilled desires, it becomes calm and clean. It becomes, so what happens is when a desire comes and desire gets fulfilled, that leads to certain emotions getting invoked in our mind. And when the desire does not get fulfilled, the opposite kind of emotions gets invoked inside our mind. And while we are dealing with all these kind of emotions, uh, we cannot concentrate on bhakti. So our mind is cluttered by various things. It's a completely messy place. And in that messy place, we will struggle to bring Krishna in there. It's an extremely dirty place. And Krishna, why will Krishna come to such a dirty place? It's very difficult for us to bring Krishna in our mind. And until Krishna comes to our mind can't be cleaned. Our Cheto Darpan marjan may not happen. So it's important that we switch off this mind from the within. So when the mind stop proposing the worldly things, that's, it's like switching off the television or the computer screen. When that screen is switched off, nothing, no light comes from within. And then this clean, the scene become calm and clean. And when you go closer to such a screen, you will see your reflection in that screen. Why? Because no more light coming from that screen. So, and you see who you are, who you are. Now you can see your own reflection that we are not this body and we are spirit soul. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We are meant to love and serve Krishna. We are meant to love and serve Krishna lovingly, unconditionally, continuously. And when we get to this understanding, this is our Svarupa. Jivera Swarupa Hai Nityera Krishna Dasa. That is the Swarupa of a Jiva. Everything else that a Jiva desires other than lovingly serving Krishna is is not according to his Swarupa. So that will create a friction, that will create a conflict. Anything for one's own, anything done for one's own enjoyment will lead to bondage. But and anything that is done as a service to Krishna will lead to freedom. That will burn the bondage. So in this mood, um, in this mood, with this knowledge, we can further engage in devotional service in association of devotees. This way, miseries of fire of material existence can be extinguished and we can become peaceful and happy. The cleaning time is now. Cleaning time is now. Don't postpone it to your next birth. No point having learned this, there's no point in postponing this to our next life. So we will stop here. We had given the introduction to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we heard something about him, who Mahaprabhu is, um, what's his why he came, external reasons and also internal reasons, why why Srimad Bhagavad Gita is called like a metric level syllables. Srimad Bhagavatam is like a graduation syllables, and Chaitanya Chatamrut is a postgraduate syllables. So Chaitanya Chatamrut show us the glimpses of what happens inside Krishna's mind, which is extremely intimate, extremely confidential, and that shows us all of that. Chaitanya Chatamrita reveals to us all of that, and therefore it is considered to be the highest syllables. So then we went through the life of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Chatamrut explains uh, the Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Anta Lila, and these eight instructions appears towards the end of Antya Lila, where Mahaprabhu's departure from this world is not described, but through these eight verses, that concludes Chaitanya Chatamrita description, where Mahaprabhu concludes his pastime at the age of 48 and leave and go back to the spiritual world, leaving behind these eight beautiful instructions. We discussed the first of these instruction about Cheto Darpana Marjanam, and cleansing the mirror of mind is the focus. And the Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, the Vijayate implies there is a victory, victory in the region of our heart, and victory against whom? Against our desires. Desires for not serving Krishna, not lovingly serving Krishna. Any desire other than lovingly serving Krishna is our enemy. And that enemy can be defeated by the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama. Eva Kevalam. Kalau in the Kali Yuga, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatir Anyatha. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. Three times repeated. We see those TV serials sometimes a dialogue is repeated twice and thrice to increase its emphasis. Similarly, Mahaprabhu in this beautiful verse uh, repeats this kalau nasteva nasteva nasteva. If you think by developing nuclear weapons you can be happy, it's not going to happen. By becoming the richest nation in the world, if we are going to be happy, not going to happen. Kalau nasteva 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 gatir anyatha. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. So become devotee of Lord Krishna and chant his glories, chant his name, and thereby, because of Krishna's mercy, you will be able to cleanse the mirror of your mind, and then Krishna Prem will appear just like a moon rises, Krishna will rise inside your mind and he will cleanse the mirror of mind if you so desire. So this way we'll conclude today's session. We will take the rest of the verses in the next session on next Sunday. So we'll wait if you have any questions about what we discussed today.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, there were two questions posted by Anjani Rao Mataji, I think.
Okay, can we
It's
read out? You have
first one is an understanding of Krishna's message and how it applies to daily situation. And the second one is, do you see Krishna as an external entity whom we have to glorify and serve and surrender to him, or is he a spiritual entity that exists within us that we have to realize by overcoming worldly temptations?
uh, so Krishna is external and Krishna is internal. Now Krishna is both. Krishna is internal as well as external. Krishna says in the you can go on mute. I think there's some external voice coming. Yeah. So Krishna is internal as well as external. Krishna says that uh, in the 18th chapter 61st verse, Krishna says that uh, that Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam ruddeshi arjuna tishtati. That I reside in the region of your heart, O Arjuna, all the living entities. So there is, so inside our heart is also Krishna, and Krishna says he's outside also. In the Bhagavad Gita, there will be section of series of verses that will come where Krishna will explain that how he is inside and he is outside, how everything is inside him, but he's outside everything as well. So so this and he says this is not confusing. This is his Aishwarya. Pashyame Yogam Aishwaryam. That's how Krishna will say in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is within and Krishna is without. Krishna is out, he's inside us and we are inside Krishna also. And both are simultaneously true. And he's in his he's present in his dham also. So he's omnipresent, he's omnipotent, and he is omniscient. Omniscient means he knows everything. Omnipotent means he can do anything, and omnipresent means he is present everywhere. So that way, we have to surrender to Krishna. Krishna inside our heart is more like a Krishna as a judge. So he's less reciprocal. He is reciprocal, but he's less reciprocal. But Krishna is a deity in Jagannath ji as a deity. Krishna as a deity in the temple is a merciful manifestation of Krishna. Just appeared for giving mercy to people. So when you bow down, when you pay obeisances to the deity, all your sins can get eradicated in 1 second or less than a second. So Krishna outside is also extremely potent, extremely powerful. So whichever Krishna inspires us to surrender, we can surrender to that more. And eventually, by learning scriptures, we can develop that loving sentiment for Krishna, and we can go back to Krishna ultimately. So that's about Sanjeev Prabhuji. You have a question? You can discuss.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session. Prabhuji, as you mentioned, one of the positive effects of chanting is that it subsides the mind. But the practical experience is that the moment you start chanting, maximum thoughts begin to enter your mind and your mind begins to wander. All the thoughts begin to enter the mind at the time you begin your chanting. So, Prabhuji, what's the way to deal with such thoughts so that your focus, your concentration from chanting is not distracted? How does one deal with such thoughts?
So, as I said in the our course of our discussion, we said that our our we need to switch off this television screen from the within, so that the mind should become the cooperator within the process. not a competitor in the process. As long as mind, we don't take cooperation from the mind, and we'll discuss that in the course of our next verse, how we should chant. And there will be a detailed discussion on that. But just to give a glimpse that we have to make mind our partner in the process of japa. So and in, if we can do that, then mind become partner in crime. Mind can't say mind, so mind does not remain free for uh, bringing in more different thoughts from other sides. So mind become, we catch hold of our mind and use that mind for the japa, and we'll discuss that in the next session more precisely. But when you, when we say we become absent minded in office meeting, what typically happens is that it is not that mind has gone anywhere. We are physically present in the meeting room. All our senses are physically there, and our mind is also there. However, our mind becomes busy in thinking something else. You know, we took an example of how we watch video. Our mind replayed our video of we leaving home 1 hour back and was busy watching it. The soul was busy watching that video, and hence soul was not able to concentrate or take attention of the message which was the boss, what boss was speaking, and that those words were coming through the ears and reaching the mind, but soul was busy watching this video, so soul couldn't hear. Now this is a practical situation happens many times in our life, that we become absent minded. So it's, what is important then is to keep our mind present in present, so that at a maximum time mind, we use mind as a window, so we remain present in present, not as a TV screen. When you use your mind as a TV screen, either you're looking at the historical videos or you're imagining some future video and playing it, that I'll go to this place, I'll go to America, there'll be snow there, there'll be visiting there, I'll be visit, maybe I've seen some pictures of Disneyland, maybe I'll go there, I'll do this, I'll do that. So either you're creating a, a video of future enjoyment or suffering that you may experience, or some past event, you're playing some videos from past or some from future, but your mind is busy and your soul is busy watching that those videos which are being played by your mind. So both needs to be available for japa. When we chant and utilize our mind, uh, when we hear japa, we can't hear in this meeting, this person can't hear if his mind is busy, if his mind is playing a video and soul is busy watching that video. He can't listen what boss is speaking. Similarly, we can't listen to our own japa if this mind is busy doing something else. So the training of this mind is to try to listen to one Hare Krishna Mahamantra at a time. When
Thank
mind is forced to listen, it has to remain present in present, and soul also needs to be available. So both soul and mind, when they are engaged in the japa, our japa becomes successful. Our japa is then and this may happen for 1 minute at the beginning, maybe just for one syllable, one mantra at a time, and it may happen and second mantra we may think of something else, third, fourth, fifth mantra we may bring our mind back and start listening to that mantra. Then now we are able to listen to 4 or 5 mantras at a stretch. This way it's like bodybuilding. When we go to the gym for day one, we may lift 1 kg, eventually 2 kg, 3 kg, 5, 10 kg, whatever. Similarly, we may listen to one Mahamantra at a time initially in the entire 108 times we chanted, but we just could hear maybe one mantra properly. maybe that will become 2 mantra, 5 mantras, 10 mantras, and as we practice more, we increase that more. And as we listen, we can listen to the mantra more often, better will be our chanting become. Better our chanting will become. Now, this is a very this is a very simple solution that Prabhupada has given. The mind game will continue to happen because mind is, Krishna Arjun says that chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavad dridham. Balavat is very strong, dridham is very obstinate. It's not just going to listen to you. uh, it has done so many garbage things in past, and those, by repeatedly doing those things, it has gained in strength, so that now you want to do right things, it's refusing to do. So balavad dridham and chanchala, so different ways in which this is, and Krishna agrees to it. He didn't say that तुम्हारा माइंड फॉल्टी है, सबका माइंड ऐसा नहीं होता. He says that's true. Asamshayam hi mahabaho, he says. But by the detachment, by practice and detachment, you will be able to control your mind. It's not impossible. It requires practice and it requires detachment. So the japa can improve, and we'll speak about that detail in our next session, where we will actually, this mantra is for japa. Nam nam akari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrar pita niyamita smarne na kalaha etadrishi tava krupa bhagavan mamapi durdaivi me drishamuhya janinanuragaha. Mahaprabhu is saying, I am a durdaivi. So much benefit is there in this Mahamantra, but I'm so unfortunate. It's such a misfortune on my part that I am not able to develop any anurag, any attachment, any love for chanting of this holy name, which is so merciful. So we'll discuss this verse and we can, talk about that aspect a little bit more in detail. Is that
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Prabhu. You look forward to the next verse. Because why I said it, it becomes even more challenging, especially if someone has gone through a traumatic condition or lost a loved one. So I really look forward to your next session on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Praji, for your question.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Praji, are there any questions? No more questions. We can conclude today's session. Ashwin Praji, you're there? Yeah. Any
Yes,
suggestions in
Prabhuji.
the chat
Yes,
box? I think,
yes,
yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. I think there are no more questions, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. There are no other questions.
Thank you, everyone,
Hare,
for
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Savita Mataji is unmuted, Guruji. Hopefully, I don't know whether she has question or.
Yeah. Savita Mataji, you have a question or you got unmuted by mistake?
Um, Hare Krishna, yeah, by mistake I got
No problem.
my question had been answered when Prabhuji was talking to you about the trauma and the grief. Yeah, so I had the same query because like during the rounds of when I do the chanting, like my mind keeps going through all those past traumas, like so. But you answered them, Prabhuji. Yeah, like gradually I think I'll get into it. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes,
Thank
we
you,
all will
Prabhuji.
get into it.
Yes,
It's a
Prabhuji.
common problem. It's
Yeah,
not that you have a
yeah,
problem.
yeah. I know
It's
everybody. The whole world
everyone
is a
has.
dukhalaya. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like we have to like I want to have that deep attach. The way you say that वो जो एक होता है ना Krishna only like that I want to feel actually. Prabhuji.
Hmm.
So I'm trying.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for
Thank
sharing.
you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you very much.
Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
we'll
Hare
conclude
Krishna.
today's session. Jagannath Bade Subhadra Mai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nittai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna to all devotees, and wish you all a happy Krishna conscious a week ahead. Happy Gaur Purnima Mahotsav, and we'll see you next Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.